Now, still on the war, protesters gathered in front of the White House yesterday to call for an end to the war in Gaza and the release of hostages. The rally was co-sponsored by several major Jewish American organizations. We're continuing with the war in the Middle East, Israel-Hamas war. The human rights group Amnesty International has accused Israel of enacting a deliberate policy of starvation in Gaza, as United Nations and aid groups warn of famine in the Palestinian enclave. In a report quoting displaced Palestinians and medical staff who have treated malnourished children, Amnesty says Israel is carrying out a deliberate campaign of starvation in the occupied Gaza Strip. The group accused Israel of systematically destroying the health, well-being, and social fabric of Palestinian life. Human rights organizations call the conflict war of vengeance and accuse Israel of genocide. Months back, International Criminal Court issued arrest warrants against Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant for war crimes. Now, for more on this, the country director of Amnesty International, Issa Sanusi, joins me from Abuja. Good to have you join us.
Thank you so much for having me today.
So give us more details on this report by Amnesty International on Israel's operation in the Gaza Strip.
Well, this report is our latest, which is about testimonies. These are new testimonies that we have gathered that show that Israel is carrying out a deliberate policy of starvation and extermination against the Palestinian people. We have compiled reports of children deprived of any food at all. And we have also compiled instances of destruction of all fabric of Palestinian life, destruction of health centers, destruction of schools, especially destruction of medical centers, which are needed even when a war is going on. And many families just watch their children die of malnutrition. As of August 17th, at least 110 children have died of malnourishment and malnourishment-related diseases. So we believe that this genocide has to end. It has been going on for so long, and the world has been fearing to be helpless. And we say that the world has to act quickly to end this starvation, because from all indications and based on all the testimonies and evidence gathered by Amnesty International, Israel is carrying out a deliberate policy of ensuring that starvation exists and subsists within the Palestinian communities, and that is completely against international law, and it must stop.
And Israel has continued to reject these claims from human rights groups and even aid groups. Israel says rather that, look, it blames Hamas for the circumstances there, saying Hamas is the one responsible for the starvation, has created an artificial starvation and using Palestinians as a shield. I just want to, for Amnesty International, is that what you see on ground? And when people you have spoken with, what is their details of how things are playing out?
Well, if you remember, in December last year, we issued a report which confirmed that Amnesty International findings show that a genocide is going on. We are not the only organization that did that. An Israeli human rights organization also came out last week, or about 7-8 days ago, to say that a genocide is going on. We always hear about this human shield, about Hamas doing this and doing that. We always believe that, all these narratives are only crafted to divert attention from the real humanitarian crisis that is going on in Gaza. We have a situation whereby children are dying by the minute. We have a situation whereby mothers watch their kids die of hunger. And we also had the controversial humanitarian intervention through one organization that was leading to the death of so many people. Aid distribution centers become death centers where people just go and lose their lives instead of getting life-saving aid in that area. So we believe that all these narratives are just, a way of diverting attention from the real issue. The real issue is a deliberate policy of starvation, ensuring that starvation is used to completely destroy any sign of life of Palestinians, and that is quite unacceptable. We believe that the hostages have to be released, and their release should also be a priority. But we also should not lose focus from the fact that starvation is a war crime, and it should be treated as such, whether it is done by Israel or any other country.
Mr. Sanusi, just because of what you mentioned, apologies for the interruption, but I just want to bring to your attention a part of your report that actually caught my attention is the fact that you called what is going on in the Gaza Strip an indictment of an international system that has granted Israel a license to torment Palestinians with near total impunity for decades. That's the quote, from your report that got my attention. With all of the research that you did, why do you think that we have not seen more concerted efforts to end this war and ensure, we've seen more efforts towards Russia-Ukraine war, but not Israel and Hamas and what's going on in the Gaza Strip?
Well, that shows the hypocrisy of the international system we have now. Many countries are, pretending to be helpless, even though they are more or less complicit in what is going on. And it is a shame that the whole world is watching in this 21st century, and we are witnessing this situation whereby even journalists, data is showing that over 200 journalists have been killed so far. And up to now, there is no access to journalists. International journalists could not access the Gaza Strip. And this is unfortunate, and this shows that countries, nations who have the power to intervene, to make sure that this shameful thing is ending, are not doing the right thing. They are just appearing to be helpless deliberately because they don't care. And that is really unfortunate, because most of these countries are signatories to all the humanitarian treaties that the world recognizes. Unfortunately, we have a situation whereby everyone is appearing helpless, and this is an indictment of the international system. And we still have the opportunity to recover from this shameful thing that is happening. We can be able to stop the war completely, have a sustainable ceasefire, and end the starvation. There should be a proportionate, a much needed flow of aid into Gaza so that there will be adequate food. But what we have now is a disgrace, is a shame on humanity, whereby people are starved deliberately. A policy was put in place to make sure that people are starved to death. And that is what is going on. And all nations will have to bear this shame now and in the future.
Thank you so much for your time. We're following developments in the Gaza Strip as always. Country Director, Amnesty International, Issa Sanusi. Pleasure to have you on.
Thank you for having me.